Okay, today on Chump Talk, we have Kitchener Ranger defenseman Roman Schmidt joining us. It's his second time on Chump Talk, but first time as a Ranger. The Rangers are off to a 6-3 start, and he has 5 goals in 9 games to start the year. Roman, thanks for coming on. How's it going, man?
Doing good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, doing good. Thanks. Again, appreciate you coming on today. It's been a little while since we had you on. It's kind of crazy to think that you're a Kitchener Ranger now, and Brady and I here, we're just about 20 minutes west of Kitchener. But just kind of talk a little bit about the last 2 months, what it's been like for you moving to Canada, obviously, and playing for the Kitchener Rangers.
Yeah, I think the first thing that really comes to mind is it's nice kind of being close to home. My family lives in Vaughan, so it's nice being closer to them, obviously, and they can come out to a lot more games. But no, it's been good. Like it's a great group of guys, and they welcomed me to the group fast. There's a few returning guys, but I think the group is already pretty tight considering how many like rookies we have. So I have a ton of fun at the rink every day, and it's a great group. We compete hard in practice, and we're off to a pretty good start here. So we're looking to do something special, obviously.
So you're obviously in a billet home in Kitchener then?
Yeah, that's right.
Man, we should have, if we were more prepared and really thought this through, we're honestly like 25 minutes from you. We should have just came and done the interview in person.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
We'll do that. We'll do that for sure sometime. We're getting a studio set up that's like 25 minutes outside of Kitchener. So maybe on an off day, we'll get you to come out there.
Oh yeah, that'd be legit.
All right, sweet. Talk about the start with the Kitchener Rangers off to a 6-3 start, as I said. I want to talk about that first goal though, because it was in a wild game. I believe you guys won it in overtime against Guelph, right? So
Yeah, that's right.
So we just got done interviewing Braden Bowman on Guelph, and that was his first OHL goal in that game as well for Guelph. But we just watched a highlight of yours, and it was a nice power play goal from the half boards there, and just talk about that moment scored in front of the Odd, because the Odd we've been there a million times each. Unreal fans there. It's packed. It's loud. Talk about that moment.
Yeah, like you said, it's loud and there's a lot of fans and the fans are great. So, I mean, the first couple of goals, I don't know if it was like the fourth or fifth goal. It was a later goal, but all the goals that we scored before, like every time we scored, I'm like, wow, it's like loud in here. Like I'm not used to that. Like, yeah, I'm not used to playing for that many people like on a daily kind of nightly basis. So, I kind of noticed that in the goals prior to that, and then when I scored mine, like I honestly didn't hear anything. I kind of blacked out. Like it was just such a cool moment, like being able to score in front of a crowd like that. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. It was a really special moment, and I'm glad we came out with the win and stuff, because that was a pretty electric night.
I'm always curious what the Selly's going to be from that first OHL goal. But like you said, you just blacked out, and I was just watching it before he came on. You just did the classic like arms in the air to all the Ranger fans. I feel like that's a good start. You just look at all the fans like, yeah, I'm here. I'm going to score some goals for this team.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna salute the fans here. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
And that's exactly what we've been doing for the Rangers. You've been scoring goals. You've played 9 games so far. You've got 5 goals as a defenseman, which is a pretty rare thing when you really think about it. You're right around the half a goal per game mark as a defenseman, which is incredible. Just that early success, what do you contribute that to? What's been clicking for you so far that just allowed you to have that offensive side to your game so far?
Yeah, I'm gonna completely like contribute that, like, or not completely, but a lot of it to my teammates. I mean, they're finding me in good areas. I know like 3 or 4 of them are one-timers. They're not like backdoor tap-ins, but there are a few of them are just like one-timers, or they're finding me like through the seam, and all I really got to do is just put it on the side of the net that the goalie's not coming from. So definitely like a lot of credit goes to my teammates for finding me.
Is that how it was right at the start of the year, that you were going to be kind of the half board guy setting up the 1T, like kind of, if anybody's listening, kind of the Steven Stamkos or the Ovechkin area or the Austin Matthews, and not to put too much pressure comparing you to those guys with your one timer, but is that right from the start of the year that you were kind of going to be that guy and they're going to try to feed you over there?
It kind of happened like it wasn't like all from the start like that. Like in preseason, I was playing a different spot. I was playing more of the top and kind of running the top of the power play. But before the first game, they kind of just put that group together, those group of guys together for that power play unit, and said like, yeah, let's just use your bomb on this side on the half wall. So obviously, I'm not gonna say no to that. So that's just kind of that went. But it just kind of happened. Yeah, it was just a couple of days before the game, and they were making power play units, and that's just kind of how it went. And obviously, I'm just gonna do what the coaches tell me to do. So
Yeah, and
it's
they
just
give
kind
you
of how it
full
went.
they give you full range just to let her fly over there if it comes.
Yeah, pretty much. They just say let it go.
Awesome, awesome.
Before this season with the Rangers, last year you previously played with the U.S. national U18 team. Just talk about what the biggest adjustment and biggest difference for you has been going from that league to playing in the OHL here this year.
Yeah, I think obviously now I think I'm considered like an older guy now. Like I'd be in my third year, right, of junior now, so I'm considered an older guy, and you have to really kind of be more of a leader. And there in the U.S. program there wasn't like we're all the same age, right? So there's no like younger guys, older guys. So now like there's guys older than me, there's guys younger than me. So just like trying to learn from the older guys, and then just trying to like take the younger guys under my wing and show them kind of how it's done on a daily basis. So I think that aspect of it, just having like different ages is a lot different. But I think I like the pace of play in the OHL. I think it's a really high skill, and there's lots of speed, and there's like lots of skill and lots of scoring. So I like the league a lot.
We definitely have more Rangers questions we'll get to in a sec, but we got to go back because right before we had you on, like I would say a month before the NHL draft, and maybe we didn't say it on the pod, but obviously we knew, and I'm sure you knew you were getting drafted at some point. That was going to happen. But just with the weird year it was, like everyone was kind of ranked all over the place. Like I feel like you guys didn't even have any idea kind of where you were going to go. I'm sure you knew a little bit of a range, but you ended up going in the third round, 96 overall, to the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. Talk about that feeling. Talk about that whole day. Because did you have any idea you were going to Tampa? I'm sure you had tons of meetings going into the NHL draft, but did you have any idea it was going to be Tampa calling your name?
Funny thing is, I didn't think of them at all. I don't know why, because I had a really good meeting. I had multiple talks with them. Their scout, like much more than other teams, and it just never crossed my mind where it's like, hey, like this is a team that is really interested. And like obviously when it happened, like it was just it was a huge moment. Like like sort of like the goal, like kind of blackout. Like you're like, oh my god, like I don't even know what just happened. And then like their GM calls you, and all the staff calls you, and you're talking to like the GM of the Tampa Bay Lightning and stuff. They're welcoming you to the team. There's some interviews after with like the Lightning press, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. So I'm definitely very fortunate to be selected by them. They're the best organization in the league. So I'm excited to see where that takes me.
How did you find out? Was it the GM that called you before you actually saw on social media or on TV, or did you find out from the TV?
It literally happened at the exact same time. As my name went up, I got a phone call right away.
Wow.
That's
a rush. That's got to be a rush.
I picked up my phone like, oh my god, what's going on right now?
And does it just say unknown number when you're getting those calls too?
Yeah, it was just like it was his number, and I didn't know who it was, but like since it's happening so fast, I just picked up the phone, saw my name, and I'm like, it was actually Stacey Roost. He's the assistant GM. He's the general manager in Syracuse, so he was the first one to call me, and then Julian Brisbois, the GM of the Lightning, called me later that night.
Wow,
man, being drafted to the NHL is such an accomplishment. So we got to ask, what'd you do to celebrate after? Family, friends, just what were you doing after you had found out, after that day kind of ended, after all the phone calls ended a little bit? Just what'd you do to celebrate that night or that day?
Yeah, I just kept it simple. Went out to dinner with my immediate family, my mom, dad, and younger brother, and my grandparents. So it was a good night. I enjoyed the night a lot. It was obviously a night to remember, and it was a great time and a great moment I shared with my whole family. Like they've been supporting me the whole way. So it was amazing to have them there.
Was it McDonald's or Wendy's, or where did you guys go that night?
It was I forgot the name of it. It was a nice little Italian spot in Vaughan.
Okay.
Honestly, can't remember the name of it, but it was a nice little Italian spot.
Nice little small town or small company place. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
You were at camp then with Tampa. Just talk a little bit about that. Brady and I, we had the YouTube train going on, and we seen you had a little preseason fight there or whatever. Just kind of talk about what that experience was like for you, just how eye-opening it was to compete with guys that are kind of in a similar level as yourself.
Yeah, so about the first week was just the prospects, right? So we had the prospect tournament and just practicing with the prospects. So most of those guys I think they're in the American League, and just guys that were drafted like a couple years prior to me. So that was obviously like that was unreal, like being around those guys. Like those guys are pros too, and they're recent guys kind of in the same boat as me. So it was a good compete level, and the team actually came together pretty quick. Like we got a good system going pretty early on and a good identity going on, so it was easy to play in. And then the preseason, the first preseason game was actually at Amalie, like the big rink there in Tampa, and they got some fans going. It was against Nashville, so that honestly felt like my first NHL game. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm walking through the tunnel out to the Amalie Arena, so that was pretty cool. And then yeah, that fight was actually that was in a different rink. It was in one of their practice rinks, but I guess the Amalie was being used. But that was actually my first fight, like not just in Tampa, but like ever, because
Really?
we have cages, right? So we're not really allowed to.
Have you been in one in Kitchener now since that?
No, I haven't.
Is that? Do you think that's going to be something that's part of your game at all?
I think like yes and no. I feel like just
Pick
nowadays, and in the NHL, you have 6D, right? So going down 5 is tough, or even if someone's hurt, like having 5 already, going down 4 is tough. But obviously, like when the moment's there, like your teammate gets hit in a bad way, or something's going on, like especially being a bigger guy, like you got to step up.
Yeah.
The one in Tampa is I hit the guy and he didn't like it, so he just kind of came after me. So it didn't, like, I wasn't sticking up for a teammate or anything.
Yeah, you held your own. You held your own in that fight.
Yeah, I didn't like when it was happening. I was like kind of like, oh my god, I have no idea. Like I don't really know what to do. Like I've never done it before, but I just kind of, I don't know. I just it just kind of happened.
We watched the fight, and it looked like it was pretty even fight, but then you pulled him down at the end. So if you kind of finish at a higher level than him, I feel like that's a win for you. So we'll count it as a dub for you. I was gonna ask, where was that rookie tournament for Tampa Bay? Like, was it the same division as the Leafs would be in?
What do you mean by that?
Or like, so I know they split up. Like we talked to Caleb Pearson. He was at Vegas's rookie, like the rookie tournament there. Where was it held for you in Tampa?
Oh, it was held just like around the area, right in the Tampa Bay area.
Oh, okay. And were there other teams that came to that? Like I've heard like Traverse City. Was that like that at all or no?
Yeah, it's similar to that. We had Nashville, the Florida Panthers, and Carolina.
Okay. So did you get to meet up with any guys you knew that were also rookies? Like I'm sure you guys are all staying in buildings that are pretty close for that tournament. Did you get to meet up with any guys you knew?
I actually didn't. I didn't get to meet up with any guys. I knew Paul Christopoulos. I played with him with Domino's Flyers. He was on Carolina, but they're like 30 minutes away near the other rinks. We were the only team that was actually in Tampa.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
So once the dust kind of settled there after the NHL draft, what went into the decision to come to Kitchener and play in the OHL? Were you considering any other options, or just what made you make that decision there?
Yeah, it's a good question. Basically, when it came down to it, if you look in the OHL, like there's 68 games played, and I think the best thing for me right now, just after speaking with my family and my agent and advisors, that the best thing for me right now is to just play a lot of games and play a lot of minutes and just really kind of develop and kind of shape into more of a pro, like learning how to take care of my body and play a lot of minutes every night. So, and then obviously the coaching staff in Kitchener is unbelievable. You got Mike McKenzie and Dennis Weidman. Dennis Weidman, he played 10 plus years in the NHL, so he obviously knows a thing or two. And I just really wanted to play under them and really learn from him because he played in the recent NHL. Like I think he only retired like 5-6 years ago, so he played like pretty recently. So he knows a lot, and I just kind of want to learn from them and play a lot of games, basically.
I feel like we've interviewed almost all of Kitchener's staff by the sounds. Like we've had Mike McKenzie on, we had Dennis Weidman on, we had probably the best equipment manager in the league, Dan Liebold, on. Dan Liebold was fun fact about Chump for you. Dan Liebold was our first ever guest.
Oh wow!
And we know him as family friends. So we always ask anybody that plays for the Rangers or has played, and we've had tons of people on that have gone through the Kitchener system. But what's it like having Danny Liebold run around the room all the time?
No, he's unreal. Like we played in Windsor the other night, and so we played Sioux at home, and we're playing in Windsor the next day, right? So we come to the rink the next day, whatever. We have like a stretch or whatever in the morning. Then we hop on the bus, and I get to the rink. All our gear's gone. I'm like, where's all our gear, boys? And they're like, Danny took it. So I guess he has like a trailer, and he packs our gear, takes it, and then unpacks it in Windsor. I'm like, wow, that's like insane. Like,
guy's a legend.
Yeah, he's a beauty, and he's no, I have nothing bad to say about Danny. He's great.
And going back with you making the decision to go to Kitchener, was it Mike McKenzie calling you, or was it you calling, or you or your agent calling Kitchener? How did that go? Because obviously, like, they had your rights, right? Because you were drafted there.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of both. I stayed in touch with him the full 2 years I was in the program, just being drafted by them. He was always just every once in a while we would reconnect and talk just about just like hockey or just random stuff. So, but when it came down to it, and I was talking to my agent what I want to do here, obviously the talking and all that ramped up. So I talked to him a lot more. But yeah, obviously it all went good in the end, and I'm here now. So they did a good job.
What's been your favorite place to play so far? And is there a city that you haven't been to yet that you're looking forward to going to play?
I mean, the best place is obviously at the Odd.
Yeah, of
There hasn't been
course.
a place better than that. I mean, I heard obviously London's pretty cool, but I still don't think it's going to be better than the Odd. And I heard there's a pretty big rivalry between the London and Kitchener, so I don't really want to be like, oh, I want to go play there. I'd rather play
No,
in the Odd,
yeah,
of course.
no, screw them. That game's got it. Have you played London yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so that game's got to be coming up soon. I think they're 8-0, so I think the Rangers are going to be the one to give them their first loss if it's soon. I haven't seen the schedule. Do you know if you play them soon?
I think we play them sometime later in November, so
Right.
still a bit of time.
We might have to get to that game, Poolsy.
Yeah, that would be a great game to be at.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure out where that is. But living in Kitchener so far, what's that been like for you? What's that adjustment been like? And just the city of Kitchener, obviously, it's close to home for Brady and I, so we're there a lot. Just what's that transition been like for you?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, starting off like I live with, I don't know if you guys know, you guys probably do know Reed Vlad. He's my roommate, so he's obviously a great guy. I'm great buddies with him already, so I enjoy just being his roommate. And then our billets are great. They're I think they've been doing it for like 20 plus years, so
Awesome.
they're pretty lights out. And then just I don't know, like obviously with a lot of hockey, there's not too much off time, so mostly we're just spending time with the boys. So there's like I haven't looked at the city like too much, but obviously like you can tell just it's a pretty big city. Like for a junior team, like we go to these other towns, like they're obviously a lot smaller. So it's cool just being in that, like in a venue where it's like a legitimate fan base, and there's like a lot of people who know like who the Kitchener Rangers are and stuff.
I was gonna ask, because one thing about the city of Kitchener that was buzzing in the last few months, or a few months before the season started, is first ever Chick-fil-A came to Kitchener, anywhere close to us. And I was gonna ask you if you tried it yet, but then I remembered you lived in the States for the last few years, so Chick-fil-A is probably something nothing new to you. But for us to get that nice chicken sandwich, a couple pickles on top, a Chick-fil-A sandwich is pretty nice to have around.
Yeah, for sure. I've been to it a few times in Michigan. We had one, there was one literally 5 minutes down the road from where I lived in Plymouth, down where it was playing at the NTDP. And to be completely honest, like it's good, but I feel like
not a fan.
No, I am a fan, but to like wait in line, I feel like it's something that you just got to do with buddies. Like it's just like a time, like it's something to do with friends. Like I'm not going there alone. You know what I mean? Like it's not good enough where I'm going there and I'm like sitting in the line by myself. You know.
All right. I like that. What are the boys doing in Kitchener when, like, if you have an off night and the boys all get to hang out, what are you guys doing?
We're usually just pulling up to someone's house or watching a movie, or well, actually we went out to the movies the other night. We watched the new Halloween.
Nice.
A couple of the guys, a new Halloween movie. Or we'll just get a bunch of boys together at someone's house, and I don't know, we'll have like a poker night or something. Like we'll just like do something that the guys like to do, or watch a movie or something. But not nothing too crazy.
As we've already mentioned, it is your first year in the OHL here. So what kind of goals have you set for yourself, whether that be personal goals, team goals kind of thing? Just what do you hope to accomplish this year in Kitchener?
I think the main thing, obviously, with Kitchener, it's I think the main thing is I want to win. Like I want to go deep in the playoff. Actually, I don't want to go deep. I want to win the whole thing. Like I think we have a team that can do it. I think we have potential to do it. I think we can definitely get there. We just need to keep working and keep showing up every game. And I think we can do something special. But definitely my main goal is to win the whole thing.
We'll let you go shortly here, but has there been one moment off the ice in Kitchener since you've been there that has just stuck out to you as like the most fun, or you had a good time doing this, or it surprised you, just like maybe just even like being in the odd, or maybe the first time you saw the dressing room, because we've both been in that dressing room. It's pretty. I guess I haven't been in there in probably close to like 5
It's been a
years.
while, yeah.
But it's like I remember it just being one of the nicer dressing rooms I've ever stepped into, really. But is there anything other than that that's kind of surprised you about Kitchener, or that you've enjoyed doing off the ice in Kitchener?
One thing that comes to mind is related to like the rink and stuff is there is I don't know if it's an exhibition game or maybe it was in Guelph or it was somewhere where like we were warming up or I wasn't playing an exhibition game because I just got back from Tampa and the guys who were coming back from camps like weren't playing, like we were taking the night off or whatever. They told us not to play. And like I see like people with like Pinelli jerseys and stuff, and I'm walking with Pinelli. I'm like, you know them? Like if it's his family or friends with him, he's like, no, I have no idea. I'm like, so these people, they just bought your jersey? He's like, yeah, I guess so. And he was just like so normal about it because I guess it's like a normal thing, right? There's like it's like a legitimate fan base. Like I said, like they actually buy the jerseys of the players, and that was kind of a moment where I was like, wow, like that's pretty cool. Like
cool place to be.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny moment that sticks out to me.
Do you have anything else, Poolsy? I got one more to finish on if you don't.
Yeah, you can finish there. I just have a comment after. It's not a question, but
okay. I was just gonna say, I think thinking back just now, it came to me the way we ended the last episode with you. It was right before the U18s, and we said, "Is there any message for Otter?" And you just told him to keep his head up. But you got to play. So I know you're close with guys like Otter and Clarkey. Have you had a chance to play either of them yet?
No, I played Clarkey in preseason a while ago.
Right. So is there are you looking forward to playing against, like, because I guess the Christopoulos was as well. Are you looking forward to playing against the guys that you played on that Don Mills team with?
Yeah, I think the only guy that I could play that was on the Don Mills team was Otter, because the rest of the guys are in that other division because of COVID or whatever. We can't play them, so we actually play Otter on Friday. This Friday coming up. So
is that in Kitchener?
Yeah, it's in Kitchener. So I'm looking forward to that.
I might know what we're doing on Friday night.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Well, we should definitely try to say hi to you guys after if we can. Try to get down to the dressing rooms. We're trying to get these passes that allow us to go to the games and try to get down to the, like, is there any sort of media scrums after Ranger games? Because I really just want to get in there and ask you guys stupid questions.
There's a little bit of media, but I think it's very like they're really careful of who they're bringing down there. Unfortunately,
great.
Yeah, that means we're not down there, Brady.
That means anybody with a podcast named Chump Talk probably isn't getting down there unless it's in a legal form. But hey, we got connections. We know Danny Liebold. Danny can pull some strings for us.
Oh yeah, you'll find a way.
All right. Well, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to say, huge thanks for coming on today. It's great to see you in the Kitchen Ranger uniform. It's kind of crazy. The last time we talked, we had no idea that this would be coming, but we look forward to getting to the odd and seeing you, and hopefully we make it happen this Friday and see you and Otter out there. So huge thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, we actually need to make that happen. We're going.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again, guys. It's always a good time. So whenever you need me again, or what you want to do something like this again, or actually like go to that studio that you're talking about, I think that would be kind of cool.
We're renovating now. It's gonna happen. It's probably might take another few weeks, but we'll make it happen. We'll pick a time where you got a few off days in a row, and like I said, it's like 25 minutes from where you are. So
yeah, just shoot me a text or whatever, and I'm in. So
all right, sounds good, man. Good luck with the rest of the season. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, awesome.